Welcome everybody to the Serpent Tarot for another pick a card reading. So today's reading is hopefully both deep and a bit of fun because we're going to ask Spirit what your dreams are trying to tell you. So we're going to sort of start firstly looking at what's the kind of universe of your dreams, the energies there, what some of the key themes might be. We'll then go into tarot around what the key messages are, what it is that you remember from your dreams, and also what you might not remember, so that you can start to sort of trigger and help you to remember more of your dreams and improve a more rich inner dream life for you as well. Then we'll have a look at things like the energetic levels around it, what some of the archetypes are that you might be encountering, and bring it together with some spiritual advice. And I wanted to particularly do this reading for a couple of reasons. One, because I have a new oracle from Rockpool Publishing that is about dreams, and those cards are being used as part of the pile choice and will be combined with some other cards from that deck in the beginning of this reading. But also because I got a beautiful new tarot deck from Etsy. It's called the Epica Tarot. I think it's relatively new. It's just gorgeous. It's sort of got a very a black background with really colourful, strong but intricate sort of images and so forth. And for me, it felt like the perfect deck to use for a reading that was around dreams. You're going to see it, no doubt, quite often on this channel for many sorts of issues, but I thought it was just the perfect deck for this one because it has some really interesting symbology within it. So where I feel, even outside the normal classic reading of the cards, something might be sort of saying something about a symbol that might resonate for dream interpretation, I will point that out. But I just thought it was the perfect combination, this new oracle, and also this really beautiful deck. And as I say, the details for both, the details of all the decks that I use are always in the description box below if you care to seek them out yourself. So I will put down the numbers as I always do for those who just like to have the visual cue for the numbers and go by the number of the reading. You can of course go to more than one reading. There might be messages about your dreams across more than one reading. But what I did from the Dream Reading Cards Oracle deck from Rockpool Publishing, I chose what I think are four really constant sort of things that turn up in a lot of people's dreams when you look at dream interpretation. For pile one, I have people. So some people dream about people they know or people that they don't know. I tend to dream about people I don't know far more than people that I do. In fact, when I dream about people that I do, it tends to be more precognitive and means something. But I seem to have a very interesting array of people that I don't actually know in my day-to-day life that turn up in dreams. So people may be a very strong part of your dream life, and that may be a cue to go to pile number one. I don't know what else is under this with the other intuitively drawn cards, but that may help you choose. Pile two has chased. Probably all of us have had at least one dream where we've been chased. We're trying to run away from something. It seems to be a very common sort of feeling, a bit of an anxiety feeling sometimes around a dream, or a sense of time closing in on us, a need to do something. Pile number three has flying and falling. Again, I think most people will have experienced dreams with one or both of those sort of sensations. And pile number four has school and exams. Dreams about needing to get to school, dreams about exams that you're about to go through. These seem to me to be four very ubiquitous types of themes that turn up in dreams, so it might be a way to help choose. And they will be part of the reading that they're assigned to, but there's at least two other cards from this oracle plus other things to give us a broader sense about what your dream life looks like and what it might be trying to say. So when you know what reading or readings you want to go to, as always, I've got the timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you there. Welcome, pile one, to your reading. So the top cards are from the Dream Reading cards, and then we have a number of other cards to give us a bit more of a sense of your inner life, your dream life. And so in terms of the sort of three archetypes, so to speak, from dreams, we have people, as I said. So I think if you were drawn to this, you will have people that populate your dreams quite a lot, that they're quite a key part to this. And I think there's definitely a sense that your dreams are about finding your people, finding the right people to trust, and being able to rise and achieve with them in some way. because we also have journey and then we have communication. So the kind of baseline narrative of the dreams and the messages they're trying to give you is how to find the right sort of people that are for the journey that you want to go on, where you want to go, what you want to achieve in life, and how to communicate that clearly so you bring the right people in. Because on one side we have two interesting sort of figures coming from the fortune cards here. We have the Griffin, which normally brings honor and good luck, and I think there is definitely the opportunity here. I think your dreams are trying to tell you that there are some directions that you can go in and opportunities to take which can bring you honor. But with the Wolf, you are a little bit wary of who to trust, and so I suspect that many of you, if you've come here, are particularly drawn around people. You have people who, a bit like this character, have masked faces. You're not sure if you can trust them. You're not sure what their motives are. And if you are going to go on a journey with these people, you want very clear communication. It does suggest we're strangely lonely here, that part of this journey is about letting go of something that either didn't work or that you were very attached to but has outgrown its time, particularly with the Phoenix as one of the symbols. There is a sense here that your dreams are showing that you have gone through a process of transformation, a process of loss potentially that is allowing you to go on this new journey. And so therefore holding on to the past is not helpful for you. To bring in the honor and good luck and to bring in the right communication, you need to let go of that and you need to let the light in. This card, Ra, 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 is about coming out of shadows, coming out of darkness and recognizing the light that you have yourself, the light that you can shine. So this very much feels like your dreams are talking about your potential to rise like a phoenix, to take something new on, to let go of things in the past that haven't worked and to shine your light. But there is a fear around this as well. That is, who do you trust? Who can you connect to? What is the right journey or path to go on? And I think that Spirit is saying here that communication is the key, that those that you feel you can communicate and be open with and trust, they are the ones to follow. Any that sort of feel masked or hidden, don't. And if you are having dreams about people that you know, but there's something that seems off or masked about them, it may well be your intuition saying they are not the right people. Whereas people that, again, you know, or types of people you're likely to come across that seem very open, very communicative, who want to move forward, who are future focused, and who seem to really respond to and like your light, those are the ones to go with. So your dreams are trying to show you the right collaborators as you rise, as you come into who you are and you start a new journey flying through the air really as the phoenix and being protected by the griffin and so forth. So I think the dreams are about letting go of the past, but being just that little bit wary, not forgetting what you learnt in the past about who you can and can't trust, and using that new knowledge to move forward. So let's see what tarot needs to tell us. So I feel like your dreams sort of world is promising and hopeful and has a lot about journeying, a lot about traveling over time and space and so forth, maybe about flying as well. But there is a little bit of wariness. You want to shine, you want to communicate, but you're a little bit wary. So I think it's a message around getting the information that you need and feeling confident to move forward. So using the tarot, we're going to start firstly around key messages that your spirit team are trying to get to you through your dreams. Then we're going to look at what is it in your dreams that you do already see. And then we're also going to see what might you not remember from what appears to be dreamless sleep but actually did have dreams for you. So firstly, what are some of the key messages to add to this landscape of travel, movement, finding your people? Oops. And I'll just pause the video for a second because I just dropped half of the cards. And as I picked them up again, I got from Spirit that was a message being sent to me to say it is also about paying attention to the signs in your dreams to know who you can't trust as well too, because you are about to go on a big and interesting journey and you have enormous potential, and it's important not to have anybody sort of mislead you or take you off course. So, Spirit, give us some more information about the key messages and symbols of Pile 1's dreams. So this is definitely saying with the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles reversed that you are coming out of a process where there hasn't been fair sharing of resources, fair sharing of the workload, fair sharing of recognition, whatever it might be. Collaboration is not necessarily your key destination. You will probably find people, and your dreams are probably showing you people that you could connect to, but the main part of this journey is actually you on your own and expressing what you want, so that it is self-directed, because it's definitely picking up things that didn't hold together, mainly in the material world, I would say, but your dreams are trying to sort of show you that you can turn that around. You're meant to be the Queen of Wands. You're meant to be self-actualized. You're meant to be this woman and rah, 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 and you don't have to be a woman per se. This is not gender-based. I'm talking about energies. You're meant to be the light that's shining. You're meant to be the phoenix arising. You're meant to be going on this journey and communicating your light. But you have definitely been burnt by the looks of things, and that is showing up in your dreams, and the sort of people that are turning up in your dreams are often giving you clues about that as well. You will be recognized with the Six of Wands. You are moving from having that not happening to you to where you will be recognized. So this is a dream about, or these are dreams that you're having about how to be seen in the world creatively, your career, in your love, whatever it might be, in actually being seen for who you are, that fire and that energy being seen for who you are. But there was a lot of drama around those that let you down. And that's showing up in these dreams. And so there's a sort of a sense of processing some of that, not trusting and letting that go. The Ten of Swords is always where the worst is over. It's been a kind of a heavy, particularly intellectually heavy thing to deal with, but the worst is over. And you are meant to move into sort of greater recognition and to arise. But you do need to have learnt from it. The only thing to hold on from the past is understanding that you need to be self-directed. Then you can find the people that you can collaborate going into the future. But it looks to me as though you relied too much on other people, or other people were making decisions for you when you're meant to be mastering it. I think it's very interesting, the symbolism in the Queen of Wands here, because in this deck they don't have characters for the different court cards. Looks to me like a sun, and I think a sun is very key. There's sort of fire energy. You may be a fire sign. You may have your sun sign may be particularly activated when you are getting recognition in some way, or the sun, the light, traveling towards the light. All of those sort of energies may be showing up in your dreams as well. And this looks to me almost like firecrackers and things going off to sort of, or you know, those sort of like fiery sort of pinwheels that you have when there's celebrations and so forth. So there's that sort of sense about fiery energy in the dreams by the looks of things, and maybe the sense of things sort of reaching a natural end, particularly material. I'm actually getting for some of you on this journey, if you're journeying in the dreams, you may sometimes see, you know, death. And I don't mean like literally seeing somebody die or something like that, but seeing sort of decay, seeing things that are, or things in the earth that fall away in some way, that you need to be able to fly and rise above. There's that energy as well with this. I think it's interesting too that the Three of Pentacles, it's reversed here, so it's saying you need to work for yourself, but we have a bee energy here, so that's a sense of industry. So there's something about industry about this as well too, what you will bring in, the work that you will bring in, the cause that you follow. Okay, so let's see what you know and remember from your dreams, and then we will have a look at what you may have forgotten. Okay, you're very much processing in dreams that you remember this disappointment. For some of you, it may have been a disappointment around a person, around a partner, a lover, something like that. With the Ace of Wands reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, and then that energy from that card around people, some of you may have wanted to work with, collaborate with, or given too much material power or power for your sense of recognition to somebody that you were in an emotional relationship with, and that is still turning up in your dreams. Even if you've been separated for a while, it looks like that energy is still there. And your dreams are trying to get you to detach from it, to pick up this strangely lonely thing. Don't hold on so tight to this. It's sort of something that has already had its time. Its time is spent. You're meant to move on. So part of this journey, part of this sort of sense of rising like a phoenix and becoming yourself is becoming yourself on your own. Now, that does not mean that you can't have a love relationship. It just means that there is something, love or potentially business relationship, that has not worked. It is not going to continue to provide you anything. It is time to accept that and move on. So I think those energies are very, very strong. And I think it's interesting too that we have that same symbol here in the Ace of Wands that looks like the sun, but it's reverse here. So this connection to a person or a group of people or an organization, whatever this resonates for you, it is suppressing who you are, and it is not allowing you to fully become your rah self. So let's see, with just 3 more cards, what is it that maybe is in dreams you don't remember? Okay, whatever this was, I actually think that many of you coming here, there's been an injustice. There literally has been an injustice. Something was not fair. Something was not right. Whether it was around a relationship, a career opportunity, a business thing, whatever it was something that was unjust. There is a degree to which your soul is letting you process this and get different perspectives around the grief without putting you through it in memory. So I'm actually getting in this case that it's not necessarily good for you to dredge this part up. That for some in this part of the reading, I think it will be the things that are going on under the surface, which being aware of them may bring them more to memories around dreams that then may also be a good guiding star. This looks to me like your higher self, your spirit team know what they're doing. There is a process within you of going through the grief and letting the grief go. And you are doing it. Like the Ten of Cups is reversed. You are letting it go. You do know that something unjust happened, but you are letting that go. And the Hanged Man here is allowing you then to rise. It's very interesting that the Hanged Man energy here is like a white stag, which is a very sort of powerful sort of fey energy for the wild hunt and things like that. I think the white stag is the king of the wild hunt. So there is a sense there of coming from this grief and getting over it. There is a new sense of wildness and a new sense of journey and a new sense of you taking on things coming through, but it's being done on a very subconscious level. And I think for you, that's a good thing. Your higher self knows what dreams to let you see and remember, which are the more pragmatic ones about this and the processing any of the people. But on a deeper level, you are healing. And I think that's a really powerful thing. So, okay. Let's have a look at some of the other energetic levels and energy around this. So I want to look at a couple of spiritual decks and also a color deck, only because I think these, again, most people dream in color. I think that you would dream in color. If you don't, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it if you don't. But I think color energy can be very important, and spiritual sort of figures and archetypes. So we're going to sort of start with that kind of level of messaging that's coming through with your dreams. So there's 3 different decks I want to use to get some information for you. Firstly, resonant truth. Being in resonance with your soul brings all things to light. I think all things but the actual grieving process, but you are really starting to understand this. You are really starting to see it. You're starting to know that you were the one who was right. There could have been a bit of gaslighting. I sort of get that sense, even though this card is about communication, I get the sense these 2 characters together, it just looks to me like there's someone who gaslit you a bit, but your truth is coming through and your dreams are showing you this. And guidance, spirit guides and celestial beings work with you. Trust in the gift of guidance. So that's coming through. And as I say, your spirit guides know what they're doing. They're only letting through in your dreams what you can process and deal with. They're not pushing through energy that would be a bit too traumatic to see face to face. Let's have a look at color energy that's coming through your dreams. So these may be colors that are predominant in your dreams, or it just might be the energetic feeling of them. Coral. Allow flow and synchronicity into your life. So if you see coral colors, it may well be pointing you towards a good pathway on the journey, the sort of flow, where there is flow, where there is synchronicity, where there are signs for you. And lemon, access innovative thinking. This is your truth. Your dreams are actually not just healing you. I'm feeling this really strongly to that bee energy. I'm feeling, even though there's not bees there, but that yellow sort of energy with bees. I think that there is something There's something that you will ultimately be working with or with others about, because it feels like it's for the community. It feels like the journey is about something that is very industrious and it's very beneficial to the earth, to people, to somebody, and also to you. And it's innovative. And that's part of the reason why you had to disconnect from others. It's almost as though until you actually did this innovation for yourself, and then start to communicate that and take your position, as I say, in the limelight, literally in the light of the sun, that you were going to not find the right people. So it's sort of like the people need to follow you, not you follow the people. All right. Let's also see what the Aha Oracle has to tell us about your dreams. I've had that one before. That's interesting. Actually, I've seen both of these before. So some of you, I may have seen them in private readings as well. I'm not sure. But certainly, this is the from little things, big things follow. So just by processing, letting go of the wrong people, starting to be on your pathway, you are going to set off dominoes for yourself. You are going to be able to take that journey and to create very big things. This is a very big shift for you. It is very much being like the Phoenix rising, but you don't have to change everything. It's just, you really just have to change your focus, just that one little thing, and everything follows. And this is about having that space to find your truth, access your truth, not listening to everybody else, having a little bit of the hermit in you, not necessarily to completely cut yourself off from other people, but allowing yourself that contemplative time to find the light within, so to speak. Okay, so that's some energies around it. Now we want to actually have a look at some archetypes you may encounter in your dreams that are important for this. I'm going to start first with the archetype oracle. Then we're actually going to draw a couple of cards from the love oracles. Not because it's necessarily about love, though there could be love energies, but it's sort of messages more generally, because the love oracles has people from all through history who have particular messages that might be part of your dreams. So firstly, we're just going to get a few archetype cards that you might be experiencing or finding in your dream state. The rebel, the creator, the goddess. Wow. So these may be aspects of you. There is one theory that I tend to hold to some degree, even when we are dreaming about other people we know and so forth. I think sometimes that tends to be a bit more precognitive, or a message directly about a situation. But more generally, if you're dreaming about people you don't know, places you don't know, that every aspect, everything you dream about is an aspect of you. And I feel like this is what we're seeing here. There are different archetypes that you may come across in the dream that is meant to be aspects of you. You're meant to be the creator. You're meant to be a bit rebellious. It's not following. You're not meant to be a follower. And you need to access your inner goddess, your capacity to create, your capacity to be the phoenix rising. There's a lot of power in you, particularly a lot of creative power, and it comes from your innovative thinking and your individuality. You may find quite often, actually, when there are people in your dreams and you're trying to communicate your vision, you're actually hitting against not being understood. And it's just meant to be getting you ready to be the rebel and stand on your own 2 feet. So if you find yourself dreaming quite often that you're in arguments, or you're talking a different language to other people, or there's something that's blocking the communication, this is meant to bring out the inner rebel that then creates and brings you to your power. So I think they're all archetypes of you. Let's get a couple of other potential energies using people from history that, again, may be aspects of you, or maybe something that's about the kind of people that you come across in dreams. So Gala Dali, there's the creative thing, definitely. And Sigmund Freud, wow, okay. So Gala Dali, wife of Salvador Dali, obviously sort of very intimate with the strange and the different and the new and so forth. She says, everything in love is invention. Create, soar over the ordinary. Yes, be the phoenix. She says, it is by being in the shadow that one emits the most light. So you've gone through this shadow for a reason. As I say, I think your dreams are trying to say, this has been done to show you who you could be, so that you then won't fall into those traps when you really start to shine. And she says, be immortal rather than available. Yeah, this is meant to be your journey. You will find your right people, but the first few steps have to be yours. And Sigmund Freud, is obviously around sort of all the matters of the soul and so forth, and psychological sort of energies. He says the virtuous content themselves with dreaming what the wicked do in real life. So you don't have to be a saint. You're meant to be able to find your goddess energy, how you would shine. Some of this restriction on you may have been people who tell you this is the way it must be done, this is the only right way to do it. This is about you finding your own innovation and your own sunshine. He also says the behaviour of the human in physical matters, I'm just being careful with YouTube, is often a prototype for the whole of his life. So looking at how the people around you have behaved around their relationships, and particularly their intimate ones, tells you a lot about who they are. It's a bit of once they show you, believe them. And he also says pure masculinity or femininity is not to be found. So if there is a mix-up, like the rebel energy here looks like divine masculine, the goddess like divine feminine, owning all of that within yourself, so that you don't need to look for it in others. I think this is the message. Your dreams are trying to tell you how much you can do on your own. Not to be lonely, but to own who you truly are and what you're bringing to the world. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at astrology and some chakra energy before we close out with another dream image from the Soul Cards deck, because it seemed to be the perfect way to close out a reading around what your dreams are showing you. So we're just now asking for what kind of astrology energy could also be permeating your dreams and be part of the message of your dreams. Because one of the things about astrology is that there's a reason that, the names of the planets also align with Greek or Roman mythology. There's a sort of personality aspect. So it's very, very evocative to the energy in dreams. This deck also has numerology as well, so we'll see what we get. So, Saturn return. Grand Cross, okay. We'll have a look at the planets. Midheaven. Saturn, wow, okay. So Saturn and Saturn return to me says this is about you claiming your own structure. And this is about you shaking off that which tried to control you. The fact that we had the King of Pentacles before, I think the people around you, as I say, have had too much control, whether they are bosses, whether they are family members, whether they are friends, whether they are lovers. There is a sense of understanding that it's time for you to stand in your own power rather than have that directed to you. So the Saturn return comes 2 or 3 times in life, depending upon how long you live. It comes between about 28 and 30, where you become who you really are on a mature level, between about 58 and 60, where you become free to be more who you are without some of the day-to-day concerns. And then I would presume around 88 to 90, I'm not sure what that means, but I presume it's more around a spiritual sort of experience around Saturn because of the age that will be involved if you do reach that age. But you don't have to be at that age for this to be coming up in your dreams, but there's definitely something about power. This is showing power issues are permeating this, and it's about who you're meant to be in the world. Who for many of you, this is about a journey that will lead to a career, vocation, personal brand. And there has been tension. Grand Cross is 4 planets in square that also then form 2 oppositions. It can be being boxed in, it can be being held back in some way. This is all about you breaking free to be yourself and to rise to your midheaven. So let's just see what planets we have around the Grand Cross, just see if that gives us any more information. So I'm just going to deal out till I get planets. There's a lot of cards in this deck, so you might have to bear with me till we get planets. Neptune is one of them. So this is very much in your dream world. This is very fitting with dreams, ideals, and so forth. Neptune, sun, and who you are meant to be in the world, your sun, that energy that I saw all around this, about fire and the sun for you. Mercury, so the communication and how you communicate your ideals and your life purpose is going to be very important. That's what your dreams are trying to talk to you about. And the moon and your emotional stuff. Plus this, with the sun and moon together, I think that always makes me think of the alchemical marriage. So I think it could be saying that once you actually take your power here, your ideals, your communication, your life path, the right person comes in. Because that feels like the proper sort of balancing of 2 energies, as I say, for the alchemical marriage. So if any of you are having issues around love, it may well be that this is the first step of the journey that leads you to that, but it's more a meeting of partners rather than there being a control mechanism operating. Okay, so to help you out with that, let's get a couple of crystal chakra cards with some affirmations. And then we're going to, as I say, use the soul cards deck, which has imagery that looks like dreams, just for any final words from spirit about what your dreams are trying to tell you. So we have the throat chakra, again with Mercury. This is how you're going to communicate in the world. And the crown chakra, the inner goddess. There you go. So with the throat chakra, we have Chrysocolla. That's about self-awareness and comfort. The affirmations are, I'm comfortable with my true self. Yes, you can be. This is what this, do not be led by other people's expectations. Your dreams are showing you your journey is going to lead to glory, but it has to be your journey. And I am highly aware of what I say and do. Yes, that's the communication. You know what you're doing. You know how to present yourself. Do not doubt that. And if you are having dreams where, as I say, it's hard to communicate, that pay attention to the symbols and energy around that. Maybe trying to show you where there are issues in your real life around communication. Crown chakra, connecting to the inner goddess, so to speak. We have lepidolite, which is about dissipation and reorganization. I reorganize parts of my life often. So yeah, let go of what isn't working. You're meant to be on a new journey. And I demand that all negatives dissipate. Yeah, just let it go. Most of you have been through a bit, and particularly around relationships and control issues in relationships, but your dreams are telling you you are primed to move forward on your own journey and to rise like a phoenix. So to finish off, I'm just going to pull a card from the Soul Cards deck, and as I say, it's very dreamlike imagery, so I thought a good way to finish the reading. And like all dreams, and even what you've got here, your dream interpretation is going to be more true to you than anything I can say. But I'm just going to tell you what I get for the feeling for this collective. But by all means, pause the video and contemplate it for yourself. Oh, wow. Is that right or what? This is all the other people. All this white noise. See, they're even round white or whatever. There's a crown chakra showing you this, and you staying calm. This is you understanding that is just a lot of fuss and bother, and it doesn't have to be that connected to you. You can stay calm. You can hear it. You can communicate when it's necessary, but you are very calm within yourself. It's very clear your dreams. The reason I think probably if you came to it because of the people thing is that your dreams are probably filled with people who are trying to box you in or hold you back in some way or confuse you or don't seem to understand you. But this is all this energy where people have tried to control you. It's time for you to become calm in the midst of that and just move forward. So I hope that resonates for you, Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If so, please like the video and subscribe. And if you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear about it. Other than that, I hope to see you in future readings. Welcome, Pile 2, to your reading. So we have the 3 cards from the dream reading cards and then some other cards to give us some other senses about the dream landscape that you have. And I think there's 1 or 2 things that could be happening here, or some combination of both. One is that there are dreams that you have, if you've come to the chased one, if that's what brought you here. This is normally when we are being chased in some way, there is some sort of anxiety we have, maybe something that we're running from, something that we don't feel up to in some way, something, or that we feel there's a threat and it's hard to get away from the threat. So it is possible with this that you are feeling that. The interesting and good thing is that we have the sense of the shield here of you being safe from harm. So I don't think in your dreams you get caught. You probably wake up before that occurs. But you could have one of those sort of dreams where you're running, or where it's hard to move quickly and you know you need to move quickly. But your dreams are telling you, because we also have flow and wisdom here, that you are safe from harm. So part of the dream is to always make you understand when you wake up that you weren't caught, that the worst didn't happen. So if there is anxiety you have around things at the moment and it's showing up in that way in your dreams are also trying to tell you that it's just as much in your attitude to things and your fear as the actual thing itself. Your luck will soon change. You may have felt that you have been chased by something, or that bad luck has been dogging you or something like that. But the black cat energy, and you may dream about black cats literally in dreams, but it's a sign of luck. It's a sign of good luck coming through. So there's, for some of you, and it may be around either a love relationship where you're not sure about whether it's the one that you should be in, or you're not sure about whether it will be accepted, or you're not sure whether you'll be accepted within a group around it. Because with the strange Valentine, which is about love being strange, being unusual, something different. You may dream about being in love with somebody who's very different to the sort of person that you would normally be in love with. If you are in love, then you may feel on some level that that's different, or you're different to those that are around, because we have the Maven of Masks as well too, which is the classic fake it till you make it card. So some of this feeling chased is you may feel at the moment that you're in a situation where you don't know whether you fit in with the person that you love, or with the kind of love that you want to look for. So that may be part of this sort of energy. But interestingly, we have the mirror here. You may find yourself looking in a mirror quite often in dreams, or the mirror energy here might be that most of the fears that you have are just picking up the fears that are generally around you, around love, so that you're absorbing that. You may be a very strong empath. So for some, there is a sense of anxiety that eventually may in other dreams lead to flow and to wisdom. Like it'd be almost like you would have the sort of anxious dreams, and then as you started to realize you could fit in to the degree that you need to and learn about your environment and start to mirror back what you need to feel comfortable, you then could dream about being in flow, in water, in flying, in flowing through energy and moving very easily. This feels like maybe not moving as fast as you would like and feeling chased. This is suddenly speeding up and having wisdom come through. That also says where there have been fears that turn into flow, that becomes wisdom. For some of you also, this is a dream pattern that you start with a sense of threat, and then you find the way to fly, to move, to be quick again, because you've understood something. So it's your dream showing you that you can surmount any difficulty. And so if you are feeling concerned about fitting in, which is what this feels like, your own wisdom and your own capacity to flow and understand your environment will change that fear and make you feel protected. So as I say, you could either be having two separate sort of dream experiences depending on where you are and how you feel that you fit in wherever you are. But you equally could have it within one dream if it's a message to you about how you are able to surmount issues. So let's look with tarot. Let's ask firstly a little bit more information about the key messages coming through. Then we're going to have a look at what you remember from your dreams around those messages. And then we're going to also look at what you may not remember, the dreamless sleep that may in fact be a deeper dream that you don't remember. So firstly, the key messages. Okay, so it's a bit like the dreamscape. There's almost like two different messages here. For some of you, this is saying that your own capacity to communicate and your own inner knowing, your wisdom with the high priestess and your capacity to communicate when you are in a situation where you don't feel stable, where you're not sure whether the ground could fall out from underneath you or something like that, or whether things could shift on a dime and not be growing in a positive way, that you have the capacity to cut through the fear of the lack of communication, the lack of skill and so forth, and to move into what you want. So it could be just simply saying that again. But for some of you, this fear pattern and this love and fitting in, there could be a genuine thing you're trying to work through at the moment about whether you fit in around the people that you're with, whether it's a love partner, whether it's people that you work with. Your dreams might be asking you to really look at that and to work out whether, if you're feeling chased and feeling like you have to wear a mask and so forth, then is that the environment that you should be in, or are you straitjacketing yourself to try and fit in so that you feel, do you have to mirror back what you see and put on a mask to feel safe? Is that the issue? And is that why you're sort of dreaming about being chased? Would it be better to work out, is this the environment that I need to be in? So for some of you, this is using your own internal knowing and wisdom to work out maybe something you need to move away from something. Need to move away from a relationship, a workplace, a group of friends. For others, it's going to be understanding that you hold all the keys, even if it does mean with the magician that for a while you have to kind of wear the mask to work out what it is to fit in, and then you get into the flow and you release any of that sort of anxiety. So your dreams, it depends on which scenario is going on. They're either confirming to you that it is time to sort of move on from something so that you can get back into flow and into wisdom, Or it could be saying you can deal with this. You can, as I say, surmount any obstacle or issue here. And there will be a time where you don't have to have the masks, but possibly at first it's okay to do it until you can get into the flow. So you'll probably know which of those applies. Let's see what you know is coming from your dreams. Okay. So for many of you, although there could be an energy around this, which is around friendships, workplaces and so forth, definitely for some, for most this is around a love relationship. This is why the Strange Valentine came up. You know you have a choice coming up about love. You know that you're not sure whether you feel that you're with the right person or that you're the right person for them. And you know that decision's coming soon. You're not necessarily getting back from the partner, the person around, whether or not this is the right person for you. So with the King of Wands reversed, it could suggest somebody who's a little bit too controlling, or somebody who would expect you to fit their style, their way of doing things, which might be why you sort of feel like, do I have to keep wearing a mask? So you know there's a decision coming up. You know that's the kind of general energy that you're getting, and you're wanting to get into the flow and the wisdom. But you know that there's a lot of emotional energy involved in this, because it is a genuine attraction, and it's probably a genuine attraction with the other person as well. Now, if it isn't about love, then it's about some sort of career or group situation where there's a lot of emotional investment in it, but you know it may not be right for you going forward. So let's see what you don't know, what might be in dreamless sleep trying to come up to the surface for you. Okay. I think for most of you, this is saying that you know it's going to be hard for you to stay loyal to what this situation is. You could wear that mask, you could navigate all these things for a while, but with all these sort of like reverse pentacles cards, keeping it going in the material world is going to be hard. Keeping it in balance in the material world is going to be hard. And I think you know that it's going to cost you a bit too much around sort of mental energy, and make you wonder whether you're being honest with yourself, honest with your commitment and so forth. This is whether it's about a love relationship or whether it's about a career situation, whatever it is, this is your soul telling you through your dreams that there is a different pathway, that you can do this for however long works for you, but there's a point where you'll need to make the decision to free yourself. You are safe from harm. You're not going to be overly hurt by this, even if it's a disappointed love. You're going to be okay, and your wisdom is on point. But this is not, whatever this situation is not the long-term thing for you. And you know that. And that's sort of like under the surface here, definitely. And it's interesting, I was sort of saying in one of the other readings that had the Three of Pentacles come up reverse, and it came up reverse in that reading too, that there is a sense that you know you need to find your right community and your right people, because we have a bee energy there. So you may dream about bees or about honeycomb or industry, things around industry. There is stuff that you're meant to do. There's stuff that you're here in the world to do. This is like a bit of a diversion, and it could be okay for a while, but it's not the long-term thing by the looks of things. Okay. So let's have a look at some general energies around this. So some other sort of spiritual and sort of color and imagery sort of energies that are coming through with your dream that could help you decide the timing of this. So firstly, we have empath. You're a harp of God's heavenly choir, a multi-sensory, highly tuned being. See, part of this is that you are empathic. This is why you can fit in. This is why you can wear the masks. The question is it your right people? That was why the mirror turned up. You need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. You need to be able to say, I can still recognize myself, because you could mold yourself around others. It's not the right thing for you by the looks of things. And we have sacred self. You are powerful. Live your life from a place of fullness and honor your perfect wholeness. Yeah, you can wear a mask. It is okay, and it's okay to have empathy, but at the end, you're going to have to turn this Queen of Pentacles around. You're going to have to own who you are and what you want to commit to. Let's look at color energy, sort of colors that might be showing up in your dreams. Corbin, ground yourself. Yeah, if you're an empath, you do need to ground yourself. And it may well be sometimes in these dreams, particularly when you're running, that, you're in these sort of darker forests, or you feel that sense of needing to really feel your feet on the ground. This is all about trying to ground that energy and work out what's really going on. And Azure, protect yourself. Yeah. If you came to this reading because you have dreams of being chased, then you know this very well. You know that you need to protect yourself. You know that you're in an environment that's not ultimately going to be the right one for you. And you can be there for a while, but you need to ground yourself and you need to protect yourself while you're there. You definitely have the wisdom to do it. I'm not getting a sense, this is why we had you are safe from harm, that anything terrible is going to happen. It's just that it eats away on your time and who you are, and it stops you from getting to the flow and to the wisdom. Let's see what the Aha Oracle could be telling you in your dreams. It's interesting. I've seen those ones definitely before too. So this is definitely about writing your own story. This is like being heaven's scribe. You're meant to narrate your own story. At the moment, you're running away from others. They're leading the charge, so to speak. You're meant to get in the flow and your own wisdom. Then you will find the right people for you, because this is about home and community and being home and yourself. So you will get there. But for some reason, you're not in that environment at the moment, or you're not in that love relationship at the moment. You need to sort of find something that you feel is more bringing you home and that you can commit to, and something that makes you feel you're back in the driver's seat writing things rather than sort of responding to others. Okay, so let's use a couple of decks to look at archetypes you may be encountering in dreams. And this could either be you, because there is a theory that everything you encounter in a dream is a form of you, but it could also be sort of other spirit guides. It could be people that you know, any of those sorts of things, archetypes that are meant to tell you something about the people that would be right for you, or conversely, the ones that you should be running away from. So let's see what we get. Magician. So we had the Magician reversed before. So I think that could be a trickster energy around in your thing. Star-crossed. Yeah, this is about, for most of you, this is about some sort of relationship that may not be quite what it seems, or may have a lot of a cost to it on some level. And Queen, you should be the queen in this. You should be ruling your own thing. So I feel like this is your energy that you're meant to have, but this is an energy of another. There is an energy of another person, probably in most cases a relationship that has difficulties in it. But, it could also be star-crossed people who work together, or something like that as well too. But there's something, there's a reason that you've got the anxiety energy around it. I'm also going to draw a couple of cards from the love oracles, not necessarily because this is about love, though I think for many of you it might be, but more because it's sort of different people from history with advice in general that could be something that your dreams are literally trying to say to you or advise to you. So you've got Elizabeth Taylor, wow, and Henry VIII. Okay, all right. So firstly, Elizabeth Taylor. She is iconic, an iconic sort of figure of beauty and love. So this is the Queen. You draw this to you. You may have drawn someone very powerful, someone who, very much wants to own or possess you. And if you want this person, even if it's for a short time, because I think underneath you don't necessarily want this long term, or if it's someone you want but you feel like you can't have it open and out in the world and committed because it is star-crossed in some way, she does say don't run so fast that you can't be caught. So for some of you, this chase thing might be to get in the flow and accept it. So although I think for most this is an energy about this is only for a particular time, it may be true for some of you that this is a connection with a powerful person or somebody who's very visible, or you're very visible, and you need to keep it secret and in the down low. She also says you can be a big fan of marriage, just be an even bigger fan of diamonds. I think that's funny. I like that. Be the queen. Be a fan of yourself. And true friends last longer than marriage, however many times you marry. So, and that's that sort of sense of impermanence as well too. So I think it may be her suggesting that you need to make sure the person you do end up with, you're a friend with as well. And there is something to be a little bit concerned about with Henry VIII turning up here in The Magician, because Henry VIII had many relationships as well, but he wasn't necessarily the world's best husband, let's face it. and he was a little bit deadly. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything deadly about this, but he wasn't a safe person to be around. He says, act like a gentleman and you'll feel like a king. So this could be sort of saying, like play the part that you need when you're around it. A rose has thorns, cultivate kinder flowers. So I think in this case, think about how kind, how close, how emotional, how much does this relationship or these people around you let you be in the flow and be in your own wisdom, and how much do they make you feel like you're constantly having to perform in some way, because this is the energy of a power person. And he says loving a great deal means sacrificing a great number. So it may be that if you want to experiment around love, there's nothing wrong with that, but don't commit until it's the right person. Don't follow his example, I think would be the thing we would say. So there is sort of humour to these cards, but I do think there is something in here. There's a warning in here for most people who've come to this reading. So let's see what astrological energy there is around your dreams. Astrological, potentially numerological. Void, of course, okay. Last quarter. Conjunction. Chiron, okay. So void, of course, this is picking up that chaste energy. This is picking up that sense of like not being sure where you are. I think many of you may sort of find yourself running through forests or dark alleyways, places where you don't feel that you really know how to navigate. There is something about this situation. You will get to it with flow and wisdom, but at the moment, you're not really sure of your direction. And some of that direction is about working out the timing for what you let go with last quarter, what you let go to bring new energy in. There is definitely the potential of a relationship that's very healing for you and for others with the conjunction and Chiron here. So that's definitely potentially there. I feel like you don't think one that you're in at the moment is that, or the environment that you're in at the moment is conducive to that. But nevertheless, there is a very strong connection. It may be coming once you've let that go. Let's just see what planets we have around the conjunction, just to see if that gives us a little bit more information. Saturn, okay. It may take me a little bit of time to find another planet because there's a lot of, actually, Black Moon Lilith. I'll use that as an asteroid because I think it fits with the energy of this. So, Saturn and Black Moon Lilith. So Black Moon Lilith is a very deeply emotional, into the shadow, into the dark, sort of bit vampiric, conjunct Saturn, which is sort of power control. This could be someone older than you, potentially, with Saturn. Or there could be that sense of age around it. It's quite compulsive by the looks of things. So if this is a relationship, you feel very drawn to it, but you feel very controlled by it as well. So I think you could get these energies in balance. What I always think about conjunctions is they're wonderful if they work together. If one dominates the other, then it's a bit of a problem. But it's a tricky balance here, because if Black Moon Lilith dominated Saturn, it would be that it was almost inexorable and vampiric, as I say, and all-consuming. The emotion, the high emotion would get in the way of trying to land it and make it last and see what it would look like on a committed level. With Saturn, if that was overpowering Black Moon Lilith, and some of the deep emotion and connection is being muted by this sense of control. So this is about, can you get to the flow? If you could get Saturn and Black Moon Lilith working together as partners, then there would be the structure to commit and the emotional depth to flow. And that would be wisdom. And there would be the healing with Chiron. But I think for most of the people coming here, your dreams are trying to say to you that if you have to wear too much of a mask and for too long, then you're not being true to you and you can't sustain that. So that may be the key thing to ask. So to help with working that through, we're going to pull out a couple of crystal chakra cards to get you some affirmations, and then we're going to use the soul cards, which are like dream imagery, to close out the reading. Okay, we've got root chakra, so who you are at a base, your sense of safety. There's something about safety. You are safe from harm. Don't be frightened. You are going to be able to decide. And third eye chakra, using your intuition is going to be important to know, where does this fall? Can you get that in balance? Can you heal it? That kind of thing. Root chakra here has red jasper, which is about rectification and boundaries. The affirmations are, I establish healthy boundaries. Yes, you would need to in this. If you are to move to flow and wisdom and stay in this situation or commit to it, you would need healthy boundaries, and I rectify my mistakes. So if you feel you've made a mistake or you've committed somewhere where you shouldn't, you know that you can always flow and get to wisdom and rectify it. Third eye chakra with tanzanite is about stillness and cosmic consciousness. It says, I align myself with cosmic consciousness. So go into your inner knowing, go into that flow state. And I find stillness within. Yeah, because there's a lot of pressure on you from this. And this is why you're feeling like you have to run. It's a lot of pressure. But understanding what masks you wear and when they work for you and when they have ceased to work for you, I think is the key. So to finish off, I'm just going to shuffle and then randomly draw a card from the Soul Cards deck, which is like dream imagery. I'll tell you what I feel from it for this particular collective reading, but dream interpretation is always important to be done by the dreamer. So maybe pause the video and look at the image and see what it says to you as well. So this is definitely indicating this is, for most of you, about a relationship. And it's not necessarily saying the relationship can't work. But I think it is saying that to do it, there needs to be kindness, picking up the kindness sort of side of things that Henry VIII could have done a bit more of in his life, to be frank. The kindness sort of energy there and the calmness and the stillness. I feel also at the moment like one person is watching and the other has their eyes closed. I feel at the moment that this is saying that a watchful thing, a watchful sort of understanding about this before you make your decisions could be something that would help you decide, can I move to flow and authenticity and therefore commit, or is this something that is not the right thing, that we're not going to connect in the right way? So, but it doesn't look, this is why I think it looks safe from harm. I think there's control issues. I think all of that sort of stuff is there, but I don't think it's necessarily malefic. I just think that it may be too much of a mask to wear for you to be able to sustain it. That's the question in whatever this is, a workplace, a relationship, a friendship, whatever it is. So I hope that resonates for you, Pile 2. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If so, please like the video and subscribe. And if you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear about it. Other than that, I'd love to see you in future readings. Welcome, Pile 3, to your reading. So we have the cards from the Dream Reading deck. We also have some other cards to give some essence about the sort of landscape of your dreams and what they're trying to tell you. And I think that this is all about a bit of a quest for truth, a quest for the new, a quest for that which is both beautiful and also future focused and so forth. Possibly in an environment where you have to be careful who you talk to, careful what you share and so forth. Because on one hand we have flying and falling, and when we have those dreams, classically they are about the expansion into the new with flying, that sense of movement, that glorious sense. Falling is sometimes when we feel like, oops, we didn't quite get the step right or something like that. Like it's that difference between we're expanding, we're growing, we're light as air, and also, we're being brought down to earth. So there's an energy around that. And with the dagger here saying conflict and danger lie in wait, you may find that in some of your dreams there is a sense, a feeling of danger, of things being quite strange. In fact, it's very likely that things are quite strange in your dreams. You've got the Poe card here, which kind of both brings up a sense of Edgar Allan Poe and that kind of thing, but it's also a sense of sort of like new technology, advanced technology, things that are strange. You may have sort of very sci-fi type dreams or AI type dreams or dreams of being in the Matrix or something like that. There's a sense of the strange, the different and the new that can be at times incredibly exciting and filled with growth, and at other times feeling quite strange and a bit scary. In one moment you're feeling you can have abundance, and the next you're feeling like, what are the games that I'm dealing with here? You may feel or see or dream about being in mazes or having to try and find your way out of something or solve some incredibly difficult puzzle or something like that, or that people aren't being honest with you in some way. You're looking for the truth. You're looking for that clarity and almost Aquarian level of kind of future clarity, moving into the future and so forth, bringing abundance in, and in a very creative and beautiful way, but very much in the mind. Your dreams are very oriented towards the air element. It's very important in the people that you connect with that there's a union of mind and spirit operating. That's why, to get past those that do games and those that are connected to your creative core and what is beautiful with the voice of an angel that you're bringing through. But there is a sense of danger, and I think it is about how you actually manage to bring the truth and abundance in when there's possibly games and power sort of plays going on an intellectual level. So it feels like fantastical sort of energy, incredibly expansive at times, but at other times very confusing, very, feeling a bit lost, feeling like what's around the corner, that sort of thing. I think music probably turns up in your dreams. Musical thing, look for musical cues, musical names of songs, that kind of thing. There's a message in that for you. But it is about the truth that comes through clarity and through the mind. But there's something a bit strange about it as well too, because I think that you're meant to sort of take something forward in a sort of future focused sort of way. So very interesting, very sort of, I say, sci-fi, but also maybe sometimes a bit gothic sort of feeling about it as well too. So let's see what Spirit wants to say in more detail with tarot around what are the key messages that your dreams are trying to bring forward for you. Okay, so your dreams are trying to show you, they're precognitive actually. I think that you are highly precognitive in what you dream. You see the future ahead of time. You see the future on a macro level. You also see it in your own life. What your dreams are trying to show you at the moment is that time is coming for a judgment about something that you've been a bit conservative and waiting on information. But you're very soon to have the information that you need. Truth is kind of coming into play for you, and you have the mind energy to make the decision, to not be too unsure of yourself. But you are feeling a little bit unsure. This is why the dagger's shown up. This is why you worry about games. I think that most of you are in very complex environments of one form or another, complex relationships, complex friendships, complex love, a lot of you complex sort of like political or organizational sorts of situations. But Spirit in your dreams is trying to show you that you are coming to a point where you have to make a decision about something. Because if you don't, there is real loss associated with it. See, judgment is interesting. Judgment is karma. Judgment is sort of all of those things. So there is something karmic about this. This is the next wave, the next sort of like, after you get the world, you get that completion and you move on to something new. And so it is a sort of like a fly or a fall type situation right now. And if you are limiting what you do and delaying making that decision when everything is there for you to make the decision, then there is the risk of loss and heartache coming. That is there. And I feel like in this particular rendition of the Three of Swords, that looks to me like a cracked mirror. So it looks to me like that kind of sense of you can control your future. You really can. You can fly. You have truth. You have that vision. You can bring in abundance. But if you allow yourself to delay too much because you're trying to second guess everything, you could almost bring in the bad luck that comes with a broken mirror. So there is that sense of don't bring in that yourself. Use your mind for you. Don't use it against you. Don't go into that sense of I'm isolated and I don't know who to trust. There are good energies around you, but you just need to make a decision. This is what it's trying to talk to you about. It's an intellectual thing. So let's see what you know that's coming from your dreams at the moment. Okay. The decision has to do with some sort of connection to somebody. Could be a love relationship, it could be a business relationship, could be anything. With the King of Pentacles reversed, however, I feel like that it's time for you to rely more on yourself. If you've been relying on somebody else to come and catch you if you fall, or somebody to sort of see your vision, this vision is very much yours. And you know that you're very close to the finish line. And that's why the decision is coming. You know that you're going to start to achieve something. And that will bring in a new thing again, something else that is strange and new and different, because that's who you are. You're 2 or 3 steps ahead of most people. And it's a little bit of reluctance. There's a little bit of reluctance because I think you feel or that you moving that fast and ahead might make you too far away from maybe somebody that you want to be close to, or somebody that you thought would be a support, but you know that they may or may not be able to follow you. You've got to make the decision almost separate to whether or not they can. And then that's going to be up to them. So let's see what you don't know, what could be in dreamless sleep, or what you think is dreamless sleep that maybe is sort of astral travel or other things that maybe you don't remember when you're awake. Okay, you have a lot of spiritual connection with your soul tribe at that kind of astral level. Like, I definitely feel like you astral travel, because it is, say, that kind of card, picking the flying one. I think you astral travel. You just probably don't remember it a lot of the time. It could be the dreams where you're flying. That is actually astral travel. Pay attention to those, what you see in that. But you're very much connected to the right tribe, and they're a tribe that's ahead of their time. So it's like you connect in, you get downloads, you get that union of mind and spirit that way. And it's very clear. It may in fact come out with you in writing in some way, or communication, or even messages that you want to sort of put online or something like that. There's a lot of stuff coming from your tribe that relieves the anxiety for you. So I think that it's almost as though what would tend to happen in dreams for you is you'd start in this sort of anxiety thing of the games and the puzzle, and then you'll have a breakthrough and you'll fly, or you'll fall, but you'll fall to your feet like a cat falling to its feet, and really being able to then move forward and understand the truth of a situation. You're highly psychic and highly precognitive, and very, very much connected to other realms and a soul tribe, maybe even an interdimensional off-world soul tribe or whatever. This is why it's important, for you to make this decision, because if you doubt yourself and you doubt what's coming through, as I say, something doesn't get realized, a relationship, a business thing, a promotion, whatever it might be, the opportunity slips by. Okay, let's have a look at some other sort of spiritual and sort of color and other sort of like emblematic sort of energy that could be coming through in your dreams. Actually, before I do that, I'm seeing the spider web there. You may dream about spiders as well in the game sort of element around this. But I'm feeling, in fact, that is an indication of coming out of it, that you're more likely to be the spider in the web, and you're doing your own weave, if you understand that. Quite often things that we dream about are actually aspects of ourselves. Okay, let's look at some spiritual energy. Duality. Okay, so there's some balances for you. Mind and spirit, I think, is one of the key dualities, but bringing things into balance is important. This is important in getting that balance of the justice and the truth, and in making the right decision, making the right decision, the right judgment. And Braveheart, in the deepness of your wounds you summon truth, call forth light, strength and forgiveness. Yes, you are summoning truth. So for some of you, there is potentially a sense of loss or heartbreak associated with this, either in not making the decision quickly enough, or in making the decision and you have to do that to move on and to expand, because there were games and kind of like mental dangers and so forth associated with this. So it's going to depend on who's coming to this reading, but you have bravery, which you feel that you need, though I think that you are more than a match for it. Let's look at some color energy for you in your dreams. Amber, awaken your creativity. So yeah, this is like you're going to write, I think, or express your truth. It's very air oriented, it's very futuristic, but it's also creative. And I think writing, channeling energy, you channel stuff through your dreams. I think sometimes you will be the sort of person who dream anything that was almost like a complete movie, from the first act through to the third act, or like look like a fairy story or something like that. There's a hugely creative aspect to your dream life, pile 3. And we have red, free yourself from pain. Yeah, so there is some pain to free yourself from. There's some decision that will either, and if you don't make the decision, you may have the pain, or it may actually free you from the pain if you're brave to do it, to not play into the games, to play into the truth. All right, let's see what the Aha Oracle might want to tell you in dream language. Okay, so this card is talking about harvest, abundance and so forth, going back to one of the key energies right at the beginning of this. You are meant to sort of bring that sort of energy in. So no matter, even if you feel that there's danger, there's more flying than falling operating here. There's more truth than mind games operating here. That's why you just have to take control of the choice and your own inner compass, because this is your own inner compass, the compass of your heart. So trust yourself. If you are finding yourself in dreams where you are being confused or you're in labyrinths or you're in difficult problems to solve or whatever, trust your heart and your instinct. You are meant to be creating and being abundant, and this is why you need to take control of the decision and your truth to take control of the decision, not to feel lost or that you're missing a piece of the puzzle or something like that. You're not. You actually have everything that you need and an internal compass for where to go. Okay. So what we also want to look at is what kind of archetypes might you be encountering in your dream life, and what might that be telling? So the archetypes may either be aspects of you. Some people have the view that everything that you meet in your dream, including houses and things, are aspects of you. But it could also be other people, energies, spirit guides or whatever. So we're just going to get some archetypes to see what else your dreams might be trying to tell you, pile 3. Libra, that's the truth again. Mystic, yeah, this is I also get, actually, with the sort of the kind of bodily sort of stuff there, I get a sense that, and this I should have said, this card is also about trusting your gut instinct. Your mystical powers are both kind of like precognitive, telepathic, and also probably kinesthetic in some way. So like your gut instinct, what you feel in your body, pay attention to that. And Wizard, yeah, you are definitely ahead of the pack in terms of spiritual stuff, definitely. And you may well come across sort of wizard-like characters or mystic-type characters that I think are versions of you that are bringing you towards your truth and your mind. A lot of this process is through your mind. You are highly spiritual, but it is your mental plane that is showing up in your dreams, and your mental plane that helps you make the decisions and move forward and create the abundance. So don't put your mental side down. That's part of your actual mystical power. Okay, we're also going to get you a couple of cards from the love oracles, not because this is specifically about love, though some of you it could be about a relationship, but more because in this particular deck there's people from all types and walks of history that have different sort of advice. It can be humorous, it can be on point. Just want to see what else your dreams might be literally trying to say to you using these sort of icons and people from history. So we have Elizabeth I. Wow, okay. And we have Emily Bronte. Wow, there's the writer. Many of you, that mental energy, you're meant to write something, definitely. Okay. Elizabeth I, one of the most powerful and resplendent monarchs that England ever saw, daughter of Anne Boleyn, an extraordinarily bright woman. So, and you don't have to be a woman, but this is about the intellect all over, and the bravery, the brave heart. Like, she was so brave. So, and she was about justice and the truth for her kingdom. So very, very powerful archetype coming through. She says, have the heart of a man and the body of a woman. This is getting things into balance, getting yourself into balance. She says, I would rather be a beggar and single than a queen and married. I think this doesn't necessarily mean you have to be on your own, but it does say that your clarity and your mind has to be satisfied. You need the union of mind and spirit, and also with other people as well. And she says, a clear and innocent conscience fears nothing. So yes, you have the truth. There's that Blues Brothers quote that's something about the truth as well too. I can't remember what it is though, but there's that kind of concept about if you have the truth, you can journey, you can do what you need to do. And Emily Bronte, of course, was prepared to sort of really look into the heart of things, the heart of darkness, if necessary, to write Wuthering Heights, one of the all-time great romantic novels of our time. She says, if you ever looked at me once with what I know is in you, I would be your slave. So this may be picking up something about a connection that will come, but it needs to be the right connection. She says, hearts can be broken, but souls should be shared. So again, yes, it's the soul. Find the soul connection, not the one that makes you feel like you're playing games, the one that makes you feel you're mystic to your wizard, or your wizard to your mystic, so to speak. And love is like the wild rose briar, friendship like the holly tree, but which will bloom most constantly. So work out who is the right person for you. And it's not going to be somebody who is really clever like you and just likes to play mind games. And there's decisions to be made, decisions that you need the compass of your heart to make. Okay, so given that, let's get some astrology and numerology energy that could be around your dreams, and then we're going to go to the sort of advice or affirmation and closing out of the reading. So firstly, some astrology energy, astrology or numerology energy that your dreams are trying to communicate to you. Capricorn, waning crescent, waning gibbous, waxing gibbous. Okay, this is a lot. There's a lot about moon energy here. So this is different moon cycles around sort of when things are sort of being formed, when things are coming into fruition, when things have reached their harvest. There's the different sort of energies around the moon. This is definitely saying part of your psychic ability is connecting to moon cycles. So very much watch moon cycles. They matter to you and what's happening where the moon is in your chart. Capricorn, I think it's tilting me towards Elizabeth I. It's tilting me towards there is something sort of the world, of the powers of the world that is involved in your decision making and what your dreams are talking about, and of the potential to make money and to be successful in the world. Okay, let's get the crystal chakra deck to see what affirmations your dreams may be trying to send you. The sacral chakra, so creativity, that creativity energy. And the third eye, your psychic ability, the channeling of that creative energy, I think. So the sacral chakra here has peach moonstone, which is about self-love and passion. I follow my passion and I remember to love myself. Yeah, this is the Elizabeth I. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be in love, but it does mean love yourself and your truth and your vision first and follow your passion. Then third eye chakra with labradorite, transformation and synchronicity. I understand the significance of synchronicities. Well, yeah, you would. Like, you're all over that. And I'm always transforming spiritually. And yes, you are as well. You're very evolved on that sort of level. Okay, so to finish off, we're just going to draw a soul card, which in itself looks like dream imagery. So I thought it was a good way to finish off this sort of reading. And as I always say when I use this deck, I will tell you what I get from it, but dream imagery and dream interpretation in general is best done by the dreamer. So maybe pause the video and see what the image says to you as well. Okay, this is you as the wizard and the mystic, I think. Shining your own light. Shining your own way. He looks very educated, very wise. More than capable of finding the way when there's sort of mind games or whatever. Very sort of fixed on the purpose of the future and so forth. It's very, very calm sort of energy, I think, but shining your own light, shining your own way, using your own mind. Really connecting, as I say, into Elizabeth I sort of sense of your own power and your own dominion, but also this very strong psychic ability that is channeled through the mind, and it is showing up in mental and air-related imagery in your dreams, which is meant to liberate you and show you what you can do. So I hope that resonates for you, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If so, please like the video and subscribe. And if you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear about it. Otherwise, I hope to see you in future readings. Welcome, Pile 4, to your reading. So we have the cards from the dream reading deck here, and then some other cards to give us a sense of the landscape of your dreams and what they might be trying to talk to you about. And I think there's two messages in the landscape of this dream. It's very interesting that you chose and came to the school and exams, if that was the reason. Of course, you may have just chosen for pile number 4, but school and exams usually turn up as a dream where we feel that we need to prepare for something and we're not sure if we're ready yet. They tend to be dreams about, oh, I'm supposed to go and do an exam and I can't find the exam room, or did I study enough, or I'm going to school and what am I learning? So there is a sense of a leveling up and a shifting up, and whether you feel ready for it. And it's interesting, we have spirit guides here in empowerment, which suggests that you either dream spirit guides within your dreams who are coming to help you, or your spirit guides are very much sending you these messages through dreams so that you understand that this leveling up is an empowerment. You are moving into more of your own power. So there's definitely a sense of you can do it. And with the chimera over here, with imagination clouds your judgment, I think there's a sort of a message that the doubt that you have or the anxiety that tends to come with school or exam dreams, you don't need to have. You have the guidance that you need and you are empowered. But the other thing, and that luck is on your side. Lady Luck, you are going to win. You are going to get what you want. So if this is about gaining a qualification, if it's about getting a job, if it's about a promotion, if it's about starting a business, whatever it might be on that kind of material level, you're going to get it if it's about that kind of school exam leveling up on that level. But you're also going to get it if it's about love, because part of this empowerment is a major transformation. The Eclipse Mermaid is about a powerful energy shift, often where it's not clear what's happening, but you just have to go with the flow. It sort of always feels to me a bit like a Tower card, but a very positive one. In fact, I usually see the Tower card as relatively positive. So, but in general, this sort of sense is a powerful energy shift, a lot of emotion around it because it's a mermaid in the water. There's that sense of the shift happens on an emotional level. We have an eclipse. You may sort of dream about things like that, or around times of eclipse, you may particularly dream strong sort of images and so forth. Lots of reds around it. So this is like passion. This sort of feels kind of very pale and thought-based. This feels very much in the heart. And then we have love, true love and fidelity, and the lovers. So I think you often dream about love. If you are in love, you dream more about that and how that process is going. If you are searching for love, you dream about love. You could be dreaming about a future partner, a twin flame, a soul twin, something like that. And again, you may doubt it. I think the chimera here is the doubt. Am I ready for this? And your spiritual guides are saying, yes, you are. So there must be something, I think, in the dreams where you do eventually come into your power, or you do find the love, or that kind of thing, where you can have the sense of the luck coming through, that the timing is happening because you're shifting into who you are and your power in some way. And whether it is both these things, a new job, a promotion, and a love affair, or whether it depends on who's coming here, I think it's just a sense of starting to know that you have the support and guidance and you are ready for that shift to bring love in, to bring luck in, to bring success in, all of those sorts of things. So that's very positive. Let's see a little bit more detail on it from Spirit. We're going to start firstly with just a little bit more about the key messages. Then we're going to look at what you know from your dreams that you can already kind of relate to. And then also what might be in your dreamless sleep, which might be a deeper level of dreams that you don't remember. So firstly, what are the key messages? Okay. The chimera and the exam are kind of the key things here about the mood of your dreams and the message that your spirit guides are trying to get to you. Because you have a sense here of being unlucky in love potentially, or not having found the right person, of having a lot of drama around those sort of things. Like there's always sort of almost having to jump hurdles for people and to prove yourself in some way. The dreams are trying to let you let go of that, to relieve the burden and to relieve the sense that, oh, that doesn't work out, because luck is meant to come in for you. So I think you're seeing in dreams something that you wouldn't feel, oh, that's going to happen to me in life. You'll feel like, oh, I find my love in dreams. I'm not finding it in life. And if it is around something around career and relationships around career, there's been lots of competition, all that sort of stuff. But Spirit wants to move you out of that and move you out of the feeling that you're emotionally stuck and can't get what you want, because you've suppressed your own capacity to bring in love. You've suppressed, and also luck. There's an enormous actual capacity within you to move into power and to bring in abundance on all those sorts of levels, but you're not sort of connecting with it. And I'm getting, for some, this may even be around, wanting to start a family, for instance, and that's been difficult, but that's shifting out. Luck is starting to be on your side if that's the case. You're moving out of that. This is meant to show you that you're ready. You've gone through the transformation, the transition that you needed. You're empowered. Your guides are with you. And that's got something to do with a very long-held wish. It could be, it literally could be childhood sweethearts, for instance, with that kind of thing. Or it could be a vision of love that you had from childhood. It could be bringing children in, as I say. For some of you, this may be about moving to that level, creating with a partnership, sort of new life and so forth. It could be anything like that. It's interesting. I sort of see the cat looks almost like it's playing with bubbles there. You may dream about cats as well. Cats could turn up as an indication of something in your childhood or nostalgic that you want to bring back. There is something. I think too that might be why we have the schools and exams. If you're not literally sort of studying at the moment, we often, even in our adult life, will dream we're back there because it's something from our past that we want to bring back, something that we want to revive in some way. And I think your dreams are trying to tell you it's time to do that, and stop sitting in doubt that the right energy is coming through, luck is coming through for you. So let's look at what you do know from the dreams, what is clear to you from the dreams that you're having. So you know that you can get recognition, you can do extremely well with the exam, you can step up, you are leveling up. You know that on some level. Even if you're sort of still feeling a little bit of doubt because of whatever hasn't worked in the past or the amount of energy that had to go into it, you know you're on the precipice of success, recognition, getting something that you want. And you know that you've become, it's through your own efforts, through your own transition, through your own development of your creativity and your sense of self with the Queen of Wands. You know that. You also know that there are some aspects of your life. Now, for some of you, this could be parents that didn't really believe in what you wanted when you've got a King of Wands and a Queen of Pentacles reversed. But for others, this could just be other people that are around that are not, who are not showing the commitment to what you're doing, that this is about your empowerment. There may in fact be people who are jealous of you. This could be part of this sort of energy. They may say you're just lucky. They may say, oh, you've got this sort of new love. Why have you got that? There's maybe some people around you that aren't going to celebrate with you, but it doesn't matter because overall you are moving forward. Let's see what might be in the dreamless sleep or the deeper sleep that you don't remember. Okay, so underneath all of this, and that you're not literally seeing it in your dreams, or if you are, you're not remembering it, you know that there is something from your past that is maybe worth resurrecting and something that you need to move away from, that you are moving beyond something in your past in some ways, that you've been a little bit stuck materially in some way and around the people that you were with, and not committed to what you were doing. You know, whether it's, you could have studied something that you weren't really that interested in and you're needing to shift away from it to move to what you really do care about. You could also have felt, if you were trying to start a family or something like that, you could know sort of underneath that you haven't been nourishing your body in the way that you should, and you're now starting to realize how to do that and so forth. So it's operating on a subtext for you around patterns that were material. You're shifting from, you're moving beyond, you're leveling up, and you are quite pragmatic about what's happening with it. Emotionally, you can deal with it, you're pragmatic. So it's certainly saying that if new love is coming in, you know what you don't want now. It's almost like you've been through something that showed you what you don't want, and you're ready to step into what you do. If it's around a career, very similarly, you know, the things that you couldn't commit to, there was a reason, because there's more for you to do. Okay, let's see what other spiritual and sort of colour and emblematic sort of energy is coming to you through your dreams. Oh, lovers, yeah. A lot of you, this is about love. A lot of you, that it is. If it's not, it's you know, it's the next step with somebody that you're with, or it's you becoming sort of really balanced within yourself and loving yourself and having that sort of sense of self-belief. We also have mind shift. Struggle dances to the tune of the mind, ease flows with the tune of the heart. This is, yeah, getting past the worry and the feeling of am I going to be enough, and actually understanding what your spirit guides are telling you, which you're more than enough, you're more than ready. Okay, let's see some color energy around your dreams. Bronze, strengthen your body. So you may sort of dream about very earthy things, earthy colours, things around the material world, the natural world. This is partly what you need to know here. There's sort of like a nutritional thing, a health thing operating. I don't think it's sort of saying that, you're unhealthy, but I think that you're strengthening yourself for the new love to come in, for the new family to start, for the new step up in your career. There's sort of like getting in touch with yourself physically. You do have a bit of a tendency potentially to burn the candle at both ends. So, and to get very excited and passionate about what you're doing. So you do need to ground that energy as well. And indigo, improve your vision. This is the mind shift. This is not sitting this is the chimera. Imagination is getting in the way of the facts sometimes. Listen to your spirit guides. See everything as empowerment. Know that you're going to pass this test because your vision is being clouded by doubt at this point in time. Okay, let's see what the Aha Oracle might be trying to tell you, or what Aha Oracle energy could further show your dream messages. Powerful. Wow, that's beautiful. So this is also, it can be many things because it looks so earthy and so much connected to the earth, but it's about communion. You can sort of see the people holding hands around the earth, around this whole sort of sense of the earth and people connecting. So it's communion on all levels. So you will connect more and more with people, find your tribe, find your place, find your level, whatever it is. But I also think it's connecting for many of you with a very good love relationship coming in. And the only thing that could get in your way is if you use the spider and web energy in the wrong way. This card is about how we weave our own fates through our beliefs and what we see. So you can create this love. It can come in, or this new level in a career, or whatever it is that you're trying to create. It is absolutely within your grasp and you can absolutely do it. You just need to make sure that you don't build this doubt into the web. You are ready. This doubt that has made you dream about things like exams or that kind of thing, you are more than ready to step up, and you have weaved that pattern and own that. Okay, so we also want to look at the archetypes that you may be encountering in your dreams. And the reason I want to do this is that we can sometimes meet people or energies or whatever in our dreams, and some people say it's all versions of us, so that could be true, and others say that it could be spirit guides, it could be people that you mix with, it could be people that are coming in, it could be other dimensional energies. But whatever it is, I just want to see what sort of archetypes you are encountering at the moment in this message from your dreams about how ready you are to step up. So we have empath, friend, clinger. Okay. So these could be aspects of you at the moment in this, highly empathic to others and not really wanting to let go of that, of people, particularly friends, but anyone, like that sort of sense of, I must sort of hold on to things. But underneath, there are some things that are dissolving, moving on so that you can move up. So, and you could potentially move some of those sort of situations into being a friend. It's also potentially showing, if it's your archetypes, that you tend to think you are going to have friends rather than lovers. So clinging to that view of yourself is not getting fully into the empath and understanding when the right energy comes along. You may also find your friends turn up in your dreams and give you messages that are encouraging, hopefully. One may have a little bit more than a friendship design on you, and that may not be what you want. So you could be picking that energy up as well too. The empath shows that you connect with other people's energies a lot through dreams and the images that you have. I also want to draw you a couple of characters from the not music oracles, the love oracles, which is not necessarily because it's about love, though I think for you there's a lot about love in this, but it's more that it's people from history with different advice, which is sometimes humorous. So some of it may just be humorous, but it also may be messages that are literally being trying to be articulated to you through your dreams. So you have Greta Garbo, okay, and Joan Collins. Okay, that's almost like the two ends of an extreme, because Greta Garbo was known for wanting to be alone. She had that "I want to be alone," and Joan Collins is queen of sort of like romance movies and books and glamour and so forth. So this is the two sides of you probably, and you're trying to kind of balance out, the part of you that is self-empowered and is moving into your next level and getting ready, and the part that might connect through love, how you balance those things. Greta Garbo says to you, are you sure you wouldn't rather be alone? So that's just something you need to work out if there's a love relationship coming in. She says, only go to the altar if you take the lead. So yeah, you are moving into empowerment, so that's worth thinking about. And marriage isn't the only way to have a partner for life. So yeah, friendships, connections or whatever. But I do think that there's going to be a choice about this. It's coming in for you to have a choice about the types of relationships you want. And so Joan Collins over here is probably saying the opposite. Let's see what she's saying. She says, beauty is power, so use it rather than lose it. So, your beauty, your empathy, your capacity to draw in, trust that. She says, age is just a number, irrelevant unless it's a vintage wine. So don't care about those sorts of things. And everyone is a potential character for a novel. Okay, so there is a grand story that you can write, that you can weave for yourself. This is, you are moving up the ladder in one form or another, and I think for many of you, bringing love in. Okay, so let's have a look at what astrological or numerological energy might be around your dreams as well, pile 4. Libra, meeting of the minds, getting things in balance. Chiron, there's a healing energy around this for you. Sextile, these things are going to be easier. Attaining whatever this is going to be easier than you think. We'll have a look at what the planets are. And conjunction, yeah, connection. There's a partnership of some sort. So let's have a look at the planets around the two aspects. I'll just deal out till I get planets, and this deck is big, so it can take a while. We've got Neptune as part of the sextile. Neptune and Pluto, wow. So this is powerful. It's powerful transition that you're going through. That's that powerful change, that powerful shift. And it's ideal, and dreams are very much an engine room of it, very much connected to the spiritual, and your guides very much pay attention to anything that's coming through on that level. Very transformative. This is a transformative time for you, but it is about moving up, and as I say, in life, in love, in any of the things that you are relating to in this reading. Now with conjunction, I do think this is tilting towards love, but it could also be a conjunction of energies that are going to help you achieve what you want to achieve. So let's see what planets we get for that. The moon. As I said, it can take a while. Moon and Venus, yeah, it's love, all right. I mean, it could be self-love, it could be love of your own empowerment, all of those sort of things as well, and of beauty and of all the sort of things that Joan Collins is talking about. But there's definitely an emotional connection. Your emotional energy and your love nature are joining through this. And I don't feel, it's interesting, sometimes when I look at these I sort of think, does one planet overpower the other? But I'm not feeling that with you. I'm feeling that Neptune and Pluto are well in balance to bring in the ideal through the transformation. And I'm feeling for this, that this whole energy about letting go of the doubt in whatever this is, career, love, or both, is you really starting to come into balance with your love nature and your emotions. It's a time where everything's coming together. Okay, so let's get some crystal chakra affirmations for you. Solar plexus chakra, so your power in the world, who you are in the world, the empowerment energy, and root chakra, feeling safe and secure with it, not worrying about whether you're not enough. So with the solar plexus chakra, we have the bumblebee jasper, which is about honesty and celebration. It says, I allow myself to celebrate each of my victories. So yes, you are. You're going to attain these things. You're going to pass these exams. No worry at all. And I choose to be honest with myself and others. So that's part of it. This is a part about bringing all these energies into base, and like the Libra, being fair, being honorable, and Chiron, sort of like healing that energy around it. With the root chakra, we have red carnelian, which is about stabilization and vitality. I see vitality in all things, and I invite stability into my life. So yeah, you're moving up to a level that's going to last. I think some of this some other thing in the pathway, relationships or otherwise, haven't been built to last, but you're moving into something that is built to last. So to finish off pile 4, I'm just going to draw a card from the Soul Cards deck. So if you haven't seen this before, I use it sometimes. I always talk about it being like dream imagery, so I thought it was the ideal deck to use to finish off the reading. And I always say that it's just as important for you to maybe pause and concentrate and contemplate it yourself, because the dreamer is always the best interpreter of the dream. But I will tell you what I feel I get from it for the energy of this reading. It's really interesting. I feel like it's hands reaching up. Well, it is hands reaching up, but it's not really clear entirely what they're reaching into, which is probably a sort of sense about, what is real and what is imagined. But it's sort of reaching towards, reaching up to something. I feel this is spiritual guidance. I think it's very much pointing to that card. Your spirit guides are going to give you the navigation that you need. They're going to give you that sense of what you need to do. And it is connecting with others. This is about love. This is about connection in some way. Whether, as I say, it's something in your career and you're going to have a team of people who you will lead and who will be reaching up to you to help them, or whether this is you reaching up into the unknown with the confidence to take it. But it's a very mysterious card. So as I say, I feel like this is maybe a sort of unformed spirit guide, that there is an energy reaching up. And you won't be alone, I'm getting, with this. I mean, apart from, whether or not it's a love relationship, you're not going to be alone. It's your step up, it's your journey, but you won't be alone. Okay, pile 4, I hope that you liked this reading. I hope it resonated for you. If so, please like and subscribe. And if you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear about it. Particularly love to hear if what you make of that card, because it's so mysterious. But I do think this is ultimately an incredibly positive set of messages to be coming to you from your dreams. So I hope that you get to manifest whatever this is in your life, and soon. Beyond all of that, I hope to see you in future readings.